Hello guys, and it is that panda guy, and today I'm doing another video, and today it's going to be about Catherine Calamity. And I know a lot of people use this hero, and a lot of people might be looking like if this hero is worth the investment and if you guys really want to use her. Today I'm going to be trying to go over that and kind of helping you guys out and make a decision if you really want to spend on that VIP. So first we're going to look at this, and I'm just going to say generally, because like some people might know, some people might not. So obviously to obtain, Catherine Calamity, you're gonna have to spend money. And there's always the first bundle, which should be $1 just to obtain her, and then to completely max out her whole skill, like everything will cost, I think, up to $300, or at least nearly that much. So if you guys don't know, you have to have her, you have to go up to at least VIP level 10, and after that, that is Jin, of course, but at least VIP level 10, and then you can buy out these packs and then eventually max her out. So when it comes to Catherine, it's really difficult because it's like I consider her late game, and I also want to thank Tree real quick. He helped me with my information. Of course, I don't really use her much myself because I don't invest like my money into Catherine. I haven't bought really much on Catherine, so I don't have a lot of experience myself, and I had just reached out and basically I was talking. And first off, I want to say that generally I do think riders are weaker, at least to me. I've never really personally used riders a lot, though that might just be me being a hypocrite because I don't have good rider heroes. But in general, that's just my thought process. Though I will say early game and even middle game, she is extremely well, because especially for spenders, if you're going to be spending on, Catherine, you're going to have her maxed out. All these skills are going to be having such a huge impact, and it's just massive, So I do want to kind of mention that and just say, like, if you are going to be spending on her, then she is 100% going to be worth it, at least early game and middle game. Though when it comes to late game, it is hard. Sorry guys, I had to pause. But though when it comes to like late game and it's just really hard to consider her value. Though it's also to say, like, of course, that's saying that you have really good other heroes that could replace her. And of course, late game, you're going to be unlocking a lot more heroes. Your region's going to be older, so you're going to have access to these other heroes. And it kind of pushes her to the side, though she is still viable late game. So I do think that in general, she is worth the $300, especially being that she's the cheapest hero to max out and like awaken, right? Because she is so easy as long as you have those $300. You could obviously awaken her, which is just so massive to have an awakened hero, especially if like you're coming into the game and like she's your best hero. So we're obviously going to look at her talent tree. I'm going to look at the strategy guide because mine isn't really set up for it. And I mean, the strategy guide is all right, especially for, Catherine. I think that it goes pretty well. I wouldn't really put into like take flight or anything like these unless you're like going to be doing hit and runs or like, I can't really like imagine these having a huge impact. So I'd probably avoid these at least like until the end after I've like maxed out everything else, if you do have leftover talents for that. And now we're going to look at her skills. So first off, we're going to be referring to her first skill, and it deals direct damage to a target, damage factor being 7.7 thousand, and the next attack has a 50% chance to deal 4.7 thousand. So that's basically dishing out like you can consider that dishing out 2 skill damage attacks. And I also want to mention real quick that when you awaken her, this goes to 100% because it just says next attack deals bonus damage and the damage factor. It doesn't have the percent chance to deal it. So after you've maxed out all these skills to level 5, you're able to just dish out that with no issue at all, and there's no like chance that it will fall off. So that's pretty insane, and she's probably one of the highest people to, dish damage skills. I also want to mention real quick that Cynthia, like the reason that she's even better is that Cynthia is in a growth pack fund or something that I've heard, and that makes her way easier to get and also just level up in general, or like level up her skills and stuff early game, meaning that these two are going to be, of course, an insane combo. So it just like it's so good for like early game, like of course it is still going to be all right for late game, of course, though it's not as viable like I was saying, but they're still decent heroes and pretty good overall. Honestly, if I'm to give like Catherine a skill grade level, it'd probably be like A or B tier, though I'm not really sure if I put her in my S tier list, being like Lewis, Tom, those type of heroes, but she's still extremely good. Also having one of, if not, I think it's actually the highest skill damage like factors, dishing out. And I'm going to be referring to these as if I have them all at level 5, by the way. But if you really want to see the numbers, you can always look here yourself. And, obviously you're going to see upgrade preview. So like her skill damage might start at 2.4k and then it goes all the way up to 7.7k, and it's the other with the other stuff. So you guys can always look at these numbers yourself, and I just hope this video is helpful for you guys. So we're going to look at the second skill, and basically this increases the rider squad attack by 10% when Cynthia, sorry, 25%. I'm referring as if you have her maxed at level 5 on this skill. So it can increase the rider squad attack by 25%, and when Cynthia is in the squad, increases the rider squad attack by an additional 12%. So I mean, yeah, like it's basically upgrading upping the rider squad attack by, I'm not even trying to do the numbers in my head, but that looks like 37%, which is just pretty nice. I mean, 37% is a massive little bump to your like squad. All right, let's look at the third skill, and this increases the rider squad travel speed by 15% and damage dealt to zombies by 40%. Of course, this isn't as, you know, crazy, especially being it's like a zombie damage thing, but that does mean that she's a good zombie hero. So I mean, that's really good, like I was saying, especially early game, because a lot of people are going to be having like lower tier troops. Of course, when you have like tier 5 or tier 6 troops, it doesn't really matter what heroes you're using or if you're using zombie heroes. But earlier game, it's really like, alright guys, I had to cut my video off because my dog was going crazy. But basically what I was saying is like, you know, of course, if you're using lower tier troops and you want to go on like a long, you know, just farming trip and just like go around, let's say farm 100 zombies consecutively, you're going to need like better heroes, be it like if you're using lower tier troops. So I mean, I hope that kind of helps just, you know, clear things. But we're going to look at this last skill, and basically it is squad's basic attack have a 10% chance to recover up to 140 raids as long as this is maxed out at level 5. And I always say this, but rage recovery skills just like tickle me in the right way, right? Like they just tickle my crotch in the right way. Like I always love them, and they just because rage is so important. Skill damage, though of course like 10% isn't crazy, though I feel like every little bit of rage is going to be massive at dealing maximal damage. So I definitely like this skill. I mean, any rage recovery skill or talent or just anything is always good. That's why you always see me try to focus, you know, rage talents. So like the first thing you probably see me focus in a skill tree, it would be like, you know, squads gain 8 rage, squads gain blah, blah, blah rage, just whatever. Like even this last one is just so massive because squads will have a blah, so-and-so chance to gain whatever rage whenever using basic attack. So I mean, that's also kind of comparable to our last skill. Like they have a 10% chance to gain so-and-so rage at a certain level, which is just really nice. So I think Catherine definitely is either A or B tier. I think if she's B tier, she'd be like top of the B tier. So she's definitely one I would love to have. If I spent money, I definitely would put into Catherine because she's just pretty good in my opinion. And I mean, she does really good skill damage. She's also good at like things like Anipede. I've, you know, seen a lot of people use her if they have her maxed out or something. So yeah, I mean, hope this kind of clears and helps people decide if they want to spend on her. And I hope you guys have an amazing day or night, and I hope this information was helpful to somebody. So you guys, I thank you for watching, and peace out.